I've got like two things to say. Oh God, shut up. Like, let's just start.
Oh, great.
Go on to start. Do we have an intro?
Yeah, so our intro goes... Dun, dun,
Don't
dun,
sing
dun,
it.
dun,
Do
dun.
not sing it. People are probably switching off right
Hi. Hi, welcome back to That's So Fetch. This is a transatlantic podcast. If you didn't know, I'm in New York City. My name's Gina, and that's Kitty. She's in London.
now. Co-host Kitty. I love it.
Yeah.
Like co-pilots.
Oh my God, I love that. You are the co-pilot to my life.
Oh my God, that's such a compliment. Do you really think so?
Yeah, you're
that.
my emotional support human.
I love that. Great.
Yeah. Okay, listen, have we got dog news to go through?
No, I don't have dog news because like nothing changes with my dog. But, and I know you have news because we need to talk about this cat.
Oh my God, yeah.
But can I just say one thing? I didn't
Yeah?
tell you on the phone earlier because I was like, I'll save it.
Oh my God,
So
what?
basically, I went on this date last night.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh
where
my
to
God.
start with this. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little bit of backstory. Which
Yeah.
is, okay, so when I was younger, obviously, as you know, growing up, I had a Springer Spaniel, who was like the most ridiculous dog ever. And like, my parents aren't the kind of people that like get their dogs groomed ever. But like, because this dog was so bizarre and special, he used to get such bad like mats, and his hair was so long, and he just looked ridiculous. So we used to take him in Norwich to this super eccentric German dog groomer, and I mean, he was so flamboyant and
What?
so eccentric, and it was like in the back of his house, and it was just so bizarre. But I think we went to him because he was so cheap. But anyway, he would always send Bertie, our spaniel, back looking really good. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a really good groomer, but like the shampoo smell was so pungent.
Do you think they put perfume on? Because they did that at the poodle parlour.
Really?
Yes, so Ruben would come back stinking, and my mum would always be like, no perfume for Ruben, please.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that was like a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe he did. I just thought when I was a kid, I was like, God, that's just such strong smelling shampoo. And because it was so strong smelling, it was like ingrained in my mind, that smell. So
Yeah, like if I smelt that perfume, I'd be,
You're like,
it would remind me
exactly.
of Ruben.
So I was on this date last night, and as soon as I met him and I hugged him, my mind was like, oh my God, I haven't smelt that smell in 20 years. And I literally hugged him, and my mind just went back to this German dog groomer. This guy smelt exactly like a dog who's been to the dog groomer. And Gina, it was so overpowering. I was literally like, I don't actually think I can sit next to you. This is just like such a strong smell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was like,
what do you think it was?
I don't know if it was like cologne or like hair gel or like, I don't know what it was. I was like dying. But the thing is, okay, so we met up, and then we walked to this bar, and like it was fine when he took off his coat. Like, I wasn't really getting the smell. But then when we left and he put his coat on again, I was like overwhelmed, and all I could think about was like dog grooming and like being with a freshly washed dog, and it was just so strong. I know, how horrendous.
Oh my God,
I know.
Kissy.
And like when I got home and I got changed out of my clothes, I was like, I've got to have a shower and wash this. Like, I felt like the smell was on me, and it's such a bad sign when you don't like someone's smell. But like, his smell was like a dog who'd been to the dog groomer. Like, what?
But was it like a bad smell, or was it just that it reminded you of like the German dog groomer?
I mean, I don't think it's a nice smell. Like, not one that you want from a man. You know, you want like a really nice, like sexy musk. This was like dog shampoo and talcum powder. Like, what?
Well, I kind of like the smell of dog shampoo.
You're joking, right?
I mean, maybe
You're
not.
kidding.
Maybe not for a date.
Yeah, exactly. Not on a man. I mean, honestly, so bizarre. I just needed to like share that info with you.
Oh my God, I love this story.
It's so cringe, and like I'm really like, I am going on another date with him, and I'm like, I really hope he doesn't smell like that again. But like, that might just be like his smell. And like, what a niche smell.
Maybe it's the coat. Like, was the coat like lined with fur or something?
No, and the coat was hideous as well. It was like,
Oh, what was it?
it was like a Paddington Bear coat.
Ew.
And when it was very sweet that he walked me all the way home, but like he walked me home with it like zipped up to the top, like, oh, mate, like have it open, be a bit cooler. Okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore, but anyway, so classic. That's like my dog news. Oh my god! And sorry, I was shouting. On the walk home, we saw someone walking a Dalmatian.
Oh my god!
So,
and what was his reaction?
He was like, "I love dogs." And I was like,
cool.
yeah, I'm going to get my next dog. I'm going to have a Dalmatian. And he was like, your next dog? And I was like, yeah, I have a dog. And he was like, oh my God, that's like the cherry on top for me. And I was like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like really into
Well, I
dogs.
like that he's a dog person.
Yeah.
Does his family have a dog? What's his dog vibe?
Oh, he didn't tell me. I don't know.
How could you not
I know.
ask?
I should have. Sorry.
It's my first question.
Is it? What type of dog is he into?
Yeah.
Because I'm on Hinge, and one of my things is like, oh, my dog needs a dad. One of my like questions or whatever. I get a lot of people responding being like, depends what kind of dog. And I'm like, that's like, okay, I'm a hypocrite here, but like kind of offensive. Like, you shouldn't care what breed is. So what, you're not going to go on a date with me if I have a Chihuahua? But you are if I have a German Shepherd? Like, please.
Yeah, but kids, if there was a guy on Hinge that said looking for someone to be my dog mum, you would be like, what type of dog do you have? And if he said Chihuahua, you'd be like, oh God, no.
Yeah, fine. Okay, fair. You're right. You're so right. I'm
Yeah,
totally
but Florence is so
owning up to being a
sweet.
hypocrite. Yeah, she is so sweet, but like, there's not a photo of her on my Hinge, so
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Is there a photo
No.
of her? Maybe you should just put a photo
no,
of her.
because I'm not that person.
Oh.
You know, I like to
am.
pretend I'm like less doggy than I am.
Oh no. I feel like I've gone full,
I know,
like,
you really
don't
have.
care.
You really have gone full doggy. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Even at work, like, I'm known as, like, the dog person. So if we have any job orders where it's like, oh, we have a dog, but we're looking for a nanny for our, like, 6-month-old, I get all the job orders because I can chat about their dogs with them.
What a skill, honestly. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Tell me, I really want to talk about this cat.
Well, no, Kits, we do actually have really interesting dog news.
Oh, shit!
That I haven't sent you yet.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, sorry, I'm getting quite, like, shrill. Oh, my God, I totally forgot that we had this. Shit, you should have said something. Fuck. God, and I've been talking about bloody Hinge. Okay.
Okay, so for Christmas, my mother got me a DNA test for Harley. So I did it maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I sent it off. It goes all the way to Denmark to be tested.
Denmark? Wow.
Yes. And I got the results in, and I'm literally sending the results to Kitty right now.
Wait, can I just ask you, oh my God, and with that, there's my little ping. Sorry, what company was this DNA one with?
So, I know we've discussed this on the podcast in the past. So, it was with Wisdom Panel, even though we know that Embark, their Instagram handle is Embark Vet. Embark is typically the one that's more specific and more accurate. But this one is Wisdom Panel.
Okay, should I look? I'm looking.
Yeah, look. And we'll post this on the That's So Fetch Instagram as well. It's at That's So Fetch Podcast.
Wait, are you like shocked
Kits.
at this or not?
Well, I'm not shocked. I'm just like a little bit disappointed because obviously it's like not very specific at all. Like 50% is breed groups because they can't like identify
Yeah,
it.
I know, but okay, let's just go from the top. So 37.5% is American Staffordshire, which is not Pitbull.
So this is the thing, is like pit bulls aren't, well, they are a breed, but like pit bulls are made up of an American Staffordshire Bull Terrier and another breed.
So does that 37.5 just mean Pitbull?
Hold on, I was Googling it earlier and I was like, yeah, what 2 breeds make up a pit bull? So pit bulls were created by crossbreeding bulldogs and terriers. So it's an American Staffordshire Bull Terrier and then like another type of dog.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So in the 50%, it could be one of those other breeds that you cross to make a pit bull.
see.
So it's not showing up as a pit bull.
I see. Okay.
Does
Yeah,
that make
yeah, it
sense?
does. Okay, and then 12.5 is Labrador Retriever, which is like definitely what we were expecting. / we kind of knew she was a lab mix.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you look at her, would you think lab mix?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
I would,
good.
personally.
Because that's what the vet, on her vet papers, when they first rescued her, that's what they guessed. They put lab mix. Also, like, rescues tend to put, like, lab mix instead of pit mix because
They don't want to put pit.
they're more adoptable.
But the thing is, she's quite, what I think about her anyway, I think she's quite dainty, which is more labby than a pit, who's a bit more stocky.
Yeah.
Do you think she's quite leggy?
She is. No, she is. And then, like, so for all that 50%, which is, like, what I want to know what that 50% is. So, like, the Asian is, like, she could be, like, part Chow Chow.
No.
Or...
But that's where the curly tail... I mean, at least they got Asian, because that's the curly tail.
Yeah. So Asian... So there's, like, the whole thing I'll send to you where it goes through what the other 50% could be. But for Asian, the options were, like, Chow Chow, Malamute, like, Husky.
Oh.
And then for hound groups, she could be part Basset Hound, Beagle, Tree Walker Coonhound.
Beagle, I could believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know about Beagle. I don't know, but that's the thing is, like, I want to know the other 50%. Like, why can't they identify it?
Yeah, and why could Embark possibly identify it? Okay, well, I think we need to do an Embark one.
Yeah, so I'm currently talking to Embark about doing a DNA test through them, and then we'll possibly do a whole episode on dog DNA.
Yeah, such a good idea.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
I find it so interesting. I mean, I even find it amazing that they can pinpoint 12.5% Labrador Retriever.
Yeah, but that's my thing, is, like, if you can do 12.5% Labrador Retriever, like, where's the other stuff?
Well, I mean, obviously it's a very scientific, like, you know, examination.
I mean, apparently this is like, because so many people do DNA tests. I think it was Pino Paparino did a DNA test through Wisdom Panel, and then Caitlin is Pino's mum. In the caption, she was like, oh, this isn't very specific. Like, we've heard that Embark is a little bit better. What are your opinions? And everyone in the comments was like, Embark is so much better because they have a larger DNA base.
Definitely try Embark then. I would love to, like, what's even better than doing one is, like, comparing.
Oh my God, yeah, I can't wait.
Okay, so exciting.
Imagine if Embark, like, has that whole 50% and it's like 5% Chow Chow, like 10% Husky.
Yeah,
I'm really excited. I feel like she definitely has some kind of hound in her, and I want to know what that is because she has the deep chest and, like, the thin waist.
Yeah, and she's got such a curly tail, which reminds me of, like, a greyhound or, like, a Saluki or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, imagine she's part Saluki.
Yeah. Okay, so exciting. I love this. Yeah, let's definitely post it with a picture of her.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fun thing to do. Kind of wish I didn't have, like, a purebred so I could do it on my dog.
Yeah, well, your next rescue, you could do it on.
Yeah.
Kids, I just want, like, 5 dogs.
I think you should get 5 dogs. And you move back to England and you've got space. Get 5 dogs.
I know, but then sometimes I'm like, oh, I really want to move back. But then other times I'm like, oh, I love being in New York.
Yeah.
Like, all the stuff that we have, like, coming up for the podcast.
Yeah, I know that's...
I wouldn't be able to do that in England.
But you could, though.
Well, it wouldn't be the same. Like, the New York dog community is so different to, like, London dog community.
Yeah, I know, but there still is a community. Or you could be a part of building a community.
Oh my God, kids, my dream is to go to Sighthound Sunday in London.
Yeah. Oh, don't. I really want you to come back. I really think you should anyway. I think England is a much better place to live. The quality of life is better.
I will. At some point, I will.
Okay,
just not right now.
Okay, cool. Should we get on to what we were going to... Okay, can you just quickly talk about this cat?
Okay, well, this isn't dog related. Basically, Justin has been really into wanting to get a cat. I'm not really a cat person. I feel like that's definitely been solidified by having a cat.
And I would just like to just be the voice of reason who, guys, before this happened, I was like, Gina, don't do it. I was the one saying, like, just don't do it. Like, I just don't think anything good can come from getting a cat. But Gina was like, no, I'm going to do it. And you did it.
Well, I mean, it's not fair for me to say no to Justin. Like,
you've got so many species in your apartment right now.
Oh my God, I know. Fucking snake, leopard geckos.
A dog and a cat. That's
dog.
Ridiculous.
So we're fostering a cat through Second Chance Rescue, which is where Harley's from. Oh my God, kids, this is what I did love about, like, fostering again, is when I put in the application, the cat foster, like, coordinator called me and she was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to speak to you. You came highly recommended. You have great references. And I know you fostered dogs. Like, it was really nice to know that, like, the rescue knows me.
Yeah, so nice. I love that.
Yeah, but we have, she's a calico. She is actually very pretty.
She is beautiful. When you sent me that first picture, I was like, if I was going to have a cat, I would love it to look like that. Like, it's beautiful. Very feminine.
Yeah, she really is, but she's quite small as well, like quite petite. But she's just very nervous and very timid. So like right now she is under the sofa and she hasn't come out all morning.
Yeah. I feel like, obviously not all cats are like that, but I feel like that's a very cat thing to do.
I guess. I mean, they're so different than fostering dogs. Like, obviously, when you have a foster dog, like, they want your love, they want your attention.
Yeah.
And, like, it's so much easier to bond with them, whereas with cats, like, they just don't really give a shit about you.
Yeah. So interesting.
So it's very different. She's, like, hissing at us still.
Oh, poor thing. It makes me, like, kind of sad, though.
I know, it makes me sad because, like, I want her to, like, bond with us and be okay with, like, being here. Like, last night she was exploring and coming out, even though Harley was out here. Like, she was coming quite close to Harley and eating her food. And I don't know, she's okay. I just don't feel like, I don't feel like she's our cat.
That's tough.
Like, I want kind of like a younger cat so it can be okay with Harley. Like, I ideally want, like, you know how so many like dog Instagrams, they have a cat and like the cat and the dog like snuggle.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
So when Florence was a puppy and we got 2 kittens, we got them when they were like literally like 5 weeks old, whatever. And I think because we got them so young and Florence was a puppy, they bonded so much. And Florence would always, like, they would sleep, snuggle together, play together all day. They were literally best friends. And Florence would never do that with another dog. It was so interesting. But she had this, like, thing with Pumpkin. They just became, like, complete and utter best friends. And I know what you mean. I love interspecies, like, being best friends.
Yeah.
But I think they got on so well because they were both so young and they were both, like, babies. Kittens, definitely you can, like, mold into... Like, if you treat a kitten like a dog, they're going to have more doggy tendencies. Like, our cats loved us. They wanted to snuggle and play. But I suppose when you have an older cat, it's harder to, like, manipulate them into, like, wanting stuff that they're not used to wanting.
Yeah, and I feel like she's just so scared, whereas, like, a kitten might be, like, a little bit more curious.
Yeah.
And a little bit more into Harley. Sorry, Harley has just been so good, though. Like, I'm so proud of her. Like, she's so respectful of the cat space.
Nice, that's really good.
Yeah, like, the cat will, like, be in the living room and, like, we're trying to, like, pet her and, like, coax her out of the cat cave. And Harley will sit in between the doorway, between the living room and the kitchen. And she'll just sit and, like, watch patiently. And it's just so cute.
Oh, that's really sweet. That's, I think, a sign of a very good-natured dog.
Yeah, she's been so good. I'm so proud of her.
Sorry, my dog is sleeping so close to the microphone, so you're definitely going to pick up her, like, grandpa snores.
Oh, great. Dog ASMR. Yeah. Okay, should we get into the topic for today? Because we've already been talking for, like, 20 minutes.
Please. Half an hour, really. Oh my god.
Okay, so our last episode was about Australia. Obviously, climate crisis, absolutely devastating. And Kits and I are both making an effort to be more sustainable. So we thought this episode we should do something about being more sustainable and environmentally friendly as a dog owner.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got different points to go through just to kind of discuss. So obviously, being a eco-friendly dog owner, the number one thing is adopt, don't shop. Because there are so many dogs in shelters.
Oh, what?
And it's not even like
sustainability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose because the more dogs there are, the resources.
Yeah, like think of
water,
how many
food.
Shelters are filled with dogs that need homes. And, like, we're just, like, making new ones, like, fucking Labradoodle litters. That, like, it's not necessary because there are so many dogs that need homes.
Yeah, true. And the resources that go into taking care of so many shelter dogs, I suppose.
And I'm sure this, like, doesn't really add to landfill, like, that much. But I was thinking about it, like, there are so many dogs in shelters and then kill shelters in the US. I don't think you have kill shelters in the UK. But if they're euthanizing 1.5 million animals in the US per year, and then I thought about that scene that I don't think we'll ever forget from Life in the Doghouse. The one where they're, like, throwing the bodies onto the truck and then into the landfill in plastic bags.
Why would they do it in plastic bags? Why wouldn't they just do it properly and bury them deeply, like, naked in the soil? Because then that would sort of, like, fertilize the land. It would, like, get into the cycle of, like, you know, death into life. Putting them in a plastic bag, what the fuck? Oh shit! Sorry, are we allowed to swear on this podcast? But do you know what? It
Yes,
really
we
annoys me. You're so right that I mean, who is thinking let's put them in plastic bags?
I mean, that scene is just, like, so just haunting. I guess maybe because they don't want to like show the bodies, show the faces. I mean, think how awful it would be to work in a kill shelter and like be taking a truck full of like dead dog bodies.
I mean, I know.
To a landfill.
I know, but like...
I think they just have like too many bodies.
Oh god, it stresses me out. Yeah, good point. No, you're so right.
I mean, if you haven't seen Life in the Doghouse, please, please, please watch it. Obviously, that one scene is like very horrific.
Such a good documentary.
But it's such a good... Yeah, so good. Okay, yes. So, I mean, it's 1.5 million animals in the US. One positive thing to say about that is that it is actually down from 2.6 million in 2011.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that's amazing. But I mean, adopt, don't shop has become such a thing.
Such a thing, which is so great. So, like,
I really think
obviously keep
celebrity
it going.
endorsements have really helped that as well. Like, I really think there are so many celebrities like endorsing that movement.
Yeah, and I love it. And obviously something that goes along with that is spay and neuter.
Yeah.
So obviously there are so many dogs in shelters right now because people don't spay and neuter their animals, and then they have puppies and it's like, oh my god, we have puppies, how fun. And then they end up in shelters. So that's the first way to be sustainable. And then another thing to talk about is sustainable pet food.
Yes.
What do you feed your dog?
So my local shop is very limited in the dog food section. Sorry, my dog is really close to the microphone and she's moving around. But there is one brand there that I picked. Because I love giving her dry food. So it's the only dry food option in that shop. And I never thought, like a year ago, I wasn't thinking about whether it was sustainable or what was in it. I just was like, just need to buy it, don't care. But the other day I was reading the label and the bag that it comes in is completely recyclable. There's no, like, it's literally a brown paper bag, no plastic, nothing. And on the back they say, please recycle this.
Oh, that's so good.
And so I'm so impressed with it. I was like, yes, okay, great. So I'm going to keep buying it because it's really easy for me to, and the bag is recyclable. And they're a company that care about packaging and stuff like that. The only thing I'm not sure about is like where the ingredients come from, and I might read it later when I feed her, but because obviously I'm quite conscious about like meat intake. I have a feeling it is lamb and veg, so it's not beef, which is obviously a positive. So yeah, I think it's lamb.
Okay, that's actually really great, kids.
Really great. I know, I'm like so impressed with it. It's called, anyone in the UK, it's called Harrington's, and it's like a really nice company. I'm like, really like it.
That sounds wonderful, because Justin and I were kind of looking into changing Harley's food.
What, does she dry or wet?
She does dry.
Interesting.
As a dog owner, we've always done dry.
Yeah, so I was at the vet recently, I probably told you this, and he was like doing a full check on her, and he was like, yeah, she's got some plaque build up on her teeth, and I was like, yeah, that's why I think her breath is so smelly. And he was like, best way to do that is to feed them dry without water, because I used to give her dry with water, and he was like, don't do that. Just dry helps their teeth so much. And Gina, the difference is amazing.
Oh, well, I don't usually give her water with it anyway.
Oh, well then great.
But actually, interesting, I was also at the vet yesterday and I asked him about food because we're obviously like looking to change her food. And he was like, yeah, dry is just the best, especially if you think they have bad breath.
Yeah.
He was like, wet is fine, but it's just like sticks to their teeth, so it gives them really bad breath.
So interesting, but like kind of obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
I also think wet's really bad for their digestive. Also, I think, it helps their teeth keep healthy because it's this, but I think wet's always really bad. And my dogs always get like really runny poo once they have wet food, like obviously. Yeah. I think just dry is a lot better for their whole system.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But I know you've probably seen it on Instagram. So everyone, especially in New York, I feel like, is obsessed with the farmer's dog and Ollie. Have you seen it?
Yeah, because a lot of influencers I used to follow use the farmer's dog. And like, I get that it's great that it's personalized, but it's wet food, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so it's actually like a raw diet. So it's actually human grade food, which is so bad for sustainability.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the thing. Is like, so the farmer's dog kind of like has something on their website that says, all the boxes can be recycled, packaging is biodegradable, so we are environmentally friendly. But there are also so many things online that say like, all of this stuff is human grade, so actually they're throwing out all of the things that like we don't eat. Like bits of meat that aren't considered like the good parts,
They
but like
wouldn't-
obviously they're fine for animals.
They wouldn't even give that to a dog.
Wait, what?
As in, the food that we wouldn't eat, they're not even giving to a dog.
Yeah, so it's so wasteful.
Yeah, that's really bad. Wow, interesting. That's really bad.
Yeah, so they're using all the prime cuts that are preferred by people, literally just because we prefer
Oh
it.
god, that's so ridiculous, honestly.
So according to the WWF, animal byproduct is actually good for pets, but they're just throwing it away, which obviously is
Yeah.
super wasteful. It's the most nutritional part as well.
Yeah.
And it's completely safe for pets, but they're just throwing it
Yeah.
away.
I mean, I give all my dog all my food scraps because I've always been such a believer in like their dogs. Like they'll eat anything, you know. I hate people that are
Yeah.
like too prissy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
And
sorry,
Sorry.
a classic.
Sorry, carry on.
Podcast. No, I just learned a really interesting fact about biodegradable stuff. So when you finish this segment, I might mention it.
Oh, well, the last thing I just have to say about things like Farmer's Dog and Ollie is I actually went to the vet and I like asked about it and I was like, you know, is this like a good option? First of all, it's really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
It's $50 a week, I think, when I looked into it for Harley.
Huge. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the vet literally told me, he was like, no,
Yeah.
it's not good. Like, a raw diet actually isn't great. Like, it opens them up to more, like, infections and parasites, and it, like, lacks the nutrition that they need.
Interesting.
So, like, if you are going to feed them raw, you also have to invest in, like, vitamins and, like, oils and, like,
Yeah.
all that other stuff to, like, add into it.
Interesting.
So, it's actually not great.
I feel like the farmer's dog, especially, like, people are just so obsessed with it because, like, you get these packages where it's like, you know, Florence's Wednesday lunchtime meal, and it's like people love that, like, personalized, like, ooh, you know,
Yeah.
gourmet thing. It's just so silly. Like, I just think we overcomplicate stuff, you know?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Also, I know it's like, I know they say their packaging is biodegradable and like boxes can be recycled, but it is just like so wasteful to have it like delivered every week.
Yeah, completely. Okay, can I just share something specifically about biodegradable stuff?
Yes.
So this isn't really dog related, but it's environment related. Someone posted on Instagram the most interesting post that I feel like has just changed my world, and it was actually about the difference between something that's biodegradable and something that's compostable. We've grown up thinking that something that is biodegradable is a good thing, and it's actually not. We should be...
Oh, shit.
So biodegradable means that the item will break down over time, but that doesn't give a specific time. That could be centuries. So just because it says biodegradable, that doesn't mean, yes, okay, in 300 years it might, you know, leave, but not like soon. Mm-hmm. It also requires microorganisms to degrade, and that produces methane, biomass, and mineral salts.
Oh, wow.
And it also breaks down into microplastics, which leaves a toxic residue. So even though it is not in its natural form anymore, it still breaks down into some sort of residue that's like poisonous. It also pollutes water and food. So like it pollutes like the soil that it's in.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So biodegradable is actually shit.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. If you want to, but compostable is the other option that we should be actually focusing on. Because something that's compostable means it will break down fully within like 180 days. So that literally means into nothing in a short amount of time. And they're usually made from, something that's compostable is usually made from something that's organic or plant materials. And you can do it at home or industrially. It breaks down into non-toxic materials. It will not, one thing that's interesting about something that's compostable is it will not compost in a landfill because it's not the right environment. Like there's nothing to like...
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
So you have to put it on a compost, like in a compost bin.
And something that's compostable fertilizes and improves the soil, and it's a natural pesticide. So like, so interesting. In my head, I always just thought like something that's biodegradable and compostable was like same thing. But in order to change the climate, we cannot rely on things being biodegradable anymore. We have like compostable is like the only and the best way to do it, which I thought was really interesting. And like, I think nowadays there are brands and stuff that are using compostable. Like I get a Vogue every month, and it used to come in plastic packaging, and they actually changed it, and now it comes in a compostable packaging, which is virtually the exact same as plastic, but you put that in your compost bin, which I have. And that is just like such a good example of like, you know, something being compostable. Or like, I think that's just so amazing.
And like a brand like making the like sensible change.
Yeah, but it's such an easy change. I don't understand why more people don't do it. But anyway, I just thought that was so interesting. And I was also then thinking about like my dog poo bags, and I was like, oh my god, is this dog poo bag biodegradable or compostable? And I was like, I didn't realise that there is actually a difference between the two, and I think my poo bags are biodegradable, which means that there may still be toxic residue in them when they break down.
I mean, Kitty, you've just like, I've had a oh shit moment where I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I thought they were the same, like, but I knew compostable is obviously better than biodegradable, but I didn't realise biodegradable was so bad.
Well, I'm going to send you the post.
Yeah, send it to me. But like, interesting that you have mentioned poo bags, because that's the next thing that I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
There is a really interesting episode on Eco Chic podcast, which talks about how to be a sustainable dog owner as well. But they mostly focus on poo bags, and she had some really great information on all the different types of poo bags. So definitely listen to that episode if you're interested.
Did you listen to the episode?
But I did.
Were any of them compostable?
Yes, you can get compostable ones, but again, like you said, if you have a compostable poo bag, it has to go in a compost bin, and it has to be like separate from your food compost.
Oh, really?
Obviously.
Why?
Yeah. Well, because it's poo and it's like toxic, so it can't like be in the same compost. I don't know, maybe you should look into it.
That's interesting, because I compost, like, I've been putting poo into my compost bin, her poo. The other day I had to clean out my pond that had my dead fish in because my fish died.
God.
And I put them in a compost bag and put them in my compost bin.
I mean, I guess it depends what you're doing with your compost. Like, are you putting it on like,
well, it gets
on
collected
the soil to grow vegetables?
No, it gets collected by the council and it goes to like local composting. So I thought it all broke down into like one pile of compost, which is used to like fertilize soil and stuff.
I genuinely don't know much about composting
No.
because people don't do it in New York City.
That makes me so sad. I can't believe that. That means all your waste is going to landfill. Do you even recycle?
I know, it's so bad. Yeah, we recycle. But like, not everything is recyclable here.
Yeah, I mean, not everything's recyclable here.
I'm really honestly not sure, but like the website that I was looking at said that your compost poo bag should be separate in a separate compost bin.
Really interesting. I'm going to look into that.
And then, so when I was listening to the Eco Chic podcast, so she goes into like biodegradable poo bags and how they're actually not great, and that you should be using compostable. Biodegradable poo bags are still going to go into landfill. And then, like you said,
they don't actually break down in that environment.
They don't actually break down. In this podcast, she basically says that there is this blogger who also is like looking into more sustainable options as a dog owner. So she started using reusable poo bags, which I'm sorry, I don't think I could do.
Oh my god, so you wash
them. Like, yeah, it's like a material poo bag. You pick up the poo, you like take it home with you wherever you are, take it home with you, flush it down the loo, and then like wash out the bag with environmentally friendly soap.
Wow. But the thing is my dog poos multiple times on a walk.
You'd have to have multiple reusable bags.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what if you're out and then, like, you have to take the poo, like, with you on the subway?
Yeah.
And then with you until you get home and then you flush it. Like, obviously, flushing the dog's poo is, like, the best option.
Well, is it, though? Because the water that goes into that and the water that goes into the washing is, like, probably not, you know, is still kind of like a use of resource.
I guess, but it has to be better than like biodegradable or non-biodegradable poo
Yeah,
bags.
definitely better.
Another option, so obviously reusable, I'm sorry, I just don't think I could do it, but there are water-soluble dog poo bags.
What?
Which again means you have to carry it around with you until you can flush it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're bags and you just put them in the toilet and flush them and they dissolve in the water.
Oh, that's interesting. Still, again, no water use, but yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, still water use, still not great, but a little bit better, and obviously like not like reusable where you have to fucking wash it.
I have to say that I really don't like walking around. This is like a very first world problems, and I completely understand that like being sustainable means sacrificing things, but I really like, the other day I was walking around and I couldn't find a bin and I had to put this poo in a bag in my pocket and it fucking smelt so rank. I was like, I'm offending everyone around me. I was in the post office and I had it in my pocket and I was like, I stink.
Ew.
But I couldn't find a bin anywhere, so I had to have it. And, like, luckily she's so small, her poos are so tiny, but I was like, this is so offensive. Like, I literally had shit in my pocket, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. So, like, I just think doing that on a daily basis is, like, or, like, if I went on a really long walk in a park, like, I do kind of want to get rid of the poo.
I know. I mean, so do I. It's just, it is a little bit harder if you live in a city.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do with this shit?
Yeah. And that's the thing I didn't really think about is like the bin. Yes, there are bins, but those bins are probably going to landfill.
I mean, so what they should have is like a compost bin
Yeah.
in a park specifically for dog poo.
Definitely.
And then you can have compostable dog poo bags.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to go check my dog poo bags because I don't think they're compostable. They're biodegradable.
Yeah, I mean, mine are biodegradable, but obviously that's not great.
No, I just can't believe I didn't know, and like I didn't know that there was still like toxins in it. Like but that's you know a classic example of like amazing marketing. These brands are like, oh well, we're biodegradable, and like we all think, oh great,
and actually,
but we don't. It's not like necessarily the truth.
Yeah.
Anyway, so interesting.
I mean, so the thing is like, obviously, like, it's great that you could probably have compostable dog poo bags and put it in your compost bin. I'm in New York City, in Brooklyn, and like, I don't even know where to get compostable poo bags, but like, there's literally nowhere for me to put it.
Yeah, where would you compost? You'd have to have a bin like outside your window.
Yeah, and it has to be a separate compost. And the thing is like, even if I got compostable poo bags, like, it means nothing unless I put it in a compost bin.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if you Googled, like...
Because it has to be the right environment for it to compost, right?
Yeah, but are there not, like, allotments in the air? I suppose if it's dog shit and you think it's, like, toxic or whatever, it can't go, like, into an allotment and, like, be used as compost.
I mean, there's not an allotment near me. I know they are, like, bringing in, like, community gardens and compostable bins in the Bronx, but there's not one near me.
Oh my god, so much work to do. It's just so stressful.
But, Kitty, I went to the supermarket yesterday and they have the signs up saying that they're getting rid of plastic bags.
That's amazing. About fucking time.
And if you don't bring a reusable bag, it's 5 cents per paper bag.
At least your bags are paper.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, Trader Joe's has always had paper bags. I just always use reusable bags, and it's just like, I can't wait to like go into the supermarket and be like, listen, I've got my reusable bags, and like they won't look at me like I'm an alien anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, what I've said many times is my co-op is so great because they do give out compostable bags. Mm-hmm. So that goes straight in my food bin, which is so good.
Another thing I want to talk about with dog owner sustainability.
Yes.
I honestly feel like I'm just shitting on all the dog Instagrams right now because Farmer's Dog and Ollie shit. And now I'm going to shit on BarkBox.
I don't care. Yeah, but Gina, like, I'm sorry, like, these conversations need to be had. I'm so sick of influencers pushing brands because they're getting paid. Like, if you're an influencer with, you know, 500,000 people following you, you have a fucking responsibility to do the right thing. And I'm so sick of influencers who I've seen push Farmer's Dog, and I'm like, that's fine, you're getting paid. I totally respect you, like, earning, you know, revenue from stuff like that. But, like, be educated about what you're pushing. That's what annoys me.
Yeah.
Because if I go around telling everyone to take drugs because I've done it and it's really, really fun, like, it's just so disgraceful. Like, because people who follow influencers eat up everything they say. There's such a trust. And I just think, like, it's so easy to be lied to because you think, oh, I've trusted this person, they seem so nice. And it's just so frustrating. Like, yeah, sorry, rant over.
I mean, the thing is, it's just so easy to get sucked in by, like, the Farmer's Dog because it looks nice, it's all natural, it's all organic. But, like, I'm sure if, like, an influencer is presented with the Farmer's Dog, they'd be like, oh my God, look, it's natural, it's organic, it's so good for my dog. And, like, the fact that they're like, oh, all of our packaging is biodegradable. I'm sure people think it's great and then just don't think to do the research on the other side.
I know, but I'm just saying that, like, but like, it's so important to do the research if you are pushing it to 500,000 people. Like, you have a responsibility to spend 20 minutes researching it. It just annoys me. And so I don't think we should feel bad about, like, shitting on these brands because, like, some of us, like, the only way things are going to change is if people, like, actually have the conversation.
And it's just like, I feel like we get so caught up in, like, oh, there's this for my dog, but, like, it's the mentality of, like, buying shit that you don't fucking need.
Agree.
And obviously we're both trying to cut down on, like, not buying shit that we don't need. I mean, I loved the idea of BarkBox. I thought it was great. I thought it was genius. And now I'm, like, thinking more sustainably. I'm like, oh my God, like, what the fuck is this? A fucking subscription box for your dog that's a new toy every fucking month. Like, your dog doesn't need a new toy every fucking month.
It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. I could not agree with you more on this. It's just, and it definitely feeds that mentality of, like, not being satisfied until you have something new, or, like, the amazingness of something new. And something I've actually really learnt to do, especially with toys, because I never buy her toys ever, because I'm like, waste of money, like it's just such a waste. But what I do is I put her toy away, and she's loves the toy she's had for about a year because she doesn't see it all the time. I only get it out like at certain times, so she's still very excited by it. But I think if you leave your toys out all the time, like they're gonna get bored, you know? They don't know like what's new or what's not, or like any of that. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't actually give a shit. Like Florence probably thinks every time I get that toy out of a box that it is new, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Harley would be happy playing with our socks. Like, she fucking loves socks more than anything.
Yeah.
And I just feel like she has toys, but she like destroys them. Like her favorite thing is to pull the stuffing out.
Yeah.
And I think it's just lazy in terms of like me. I mean, I have sewed her toys up, but that's something that you could do instead, is just put the stuffing back in, sew it up, and like let them do it again, maybe like next week.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's such a good way of like thinking. I should have done that. I should have kept the stuffing from the pheasant and done that.
Yeah, toys, like BarkBox is just so bad. Like it really, like their branding is so nice, and like it's such a like cult thing to be a part of, to like, oh, I'm getting my BarkBox delivery. Oh, what is it this month?
Yeah.
But it's just not, it's not great.
No,
it's not sustainable.
It's not. And those toys as well, like the amount of water and resource that goes into making those toys is probably ridiculous. It's like fast fashion. Like they're put together cheaply,
exactly.
They're put together shittily, they're using a ton of water to make, and you're getting a new one every single month. That's 12 toys a year. Florence has had one toy for a year and she's absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? Like you're right. It's such a good... I just hadn't really thought about it, but you're so right.
I mean, it's especially BarkBox because it is like every month. And then I just think in terms of like you are buying a toy, just make sure that it is a little bit more sustainable, or even like obviously make sure there's no plastic. And then if you can get like a rope toy is probably the best thing, and a rope toy that's made from recycled materials.
Yeah. The thing is, BarkBox could be pushing that.
Yeah, oh my god, Kitty, a new idea, subscription toy box, but it's made from recycled materials.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but then at the same time, not only is it that, it's still the delivering it to everyone, you know, printing out flyers to go in each one. Like, I sometimes don't realise how much we forget, how much goes into things like that.
Yeah.
You're so right.
You completely forget.
Yeah, such a good point. I think dog toys is like one of those things that dog accessories in general is like, we just don't need it.
No, and it's also just become something that's blown up with dog Instagrams. Because there are so many pet supply companies that are like, oh, get this thing, get this thing, get this thing. And it's like, your dog doesn't fucking need anything. This is such a recent thing, you know? Like, my dogs growing up, like, probably had, like, yeah, like you said, like, maybe one toy a year, maybe. Yeah. They didn't have fucking clothes.
Yeah, I know, I completely agree. Like, you're right. I guess it is the blow up of Instagram where dogs are just gifted like complete shit that actually is all good, and you know, people are desperate to like, oh, it's great for content, but like, come on. And I just prefer the content that's your dog doing a shit in the garden. I'd rather watch that than watch you unbox. No, I would genuinely, than watch you unbox a fucking subscription box of like 10 toys, you know?
Yeah.
I'd genuinely rather the natural rhythm of your dog's life than like the commercial one. Yeah.
Like your dog chasing squirrels in the park, or like your dog going for a swim in the river. Yeah. That's much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that was just something that I had to mention for sustainability. And then obviously dog shampoo, if you're washing your dog, should be non-toxic and natural. And then that's also something that I have to look into for myself.
Fuck yeah, I hadn't thought about that. You're right.
I know, I really need to try it, but like I feel like I love washing my hair, Kitty. Like, I hate when I don't have clean hair.
Yeah, I just find I've been thinking about getting like nice organic shampoo, but it's just so expensive, and I hate being that person, because obviously, yeah, I technically, like, I have the money to buy it, but it's hard to sacrifice, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's so much extra money for a smaller bottle, and I know, I mean, like, saying it, listening to myself say it, I'm like, you should just buy the expensive stuff, but...
I mean, even the bottle is bad. Like, that's still, like, resources.
No, there's a brand I'm obsessed with, called Austin & Austin, and they're made in Norfolk, Gina, Norwich... father and daughter.
Hi.
And it's The bottle's recyclable. It's shampoo, conditioner, body wash. Such lovely packaging. It's all natural, all organic, super sustainable. Like, I need to buy some.
I mean, I was going to look into the Lush, like, shampoo and conditioner bars, because then there's no packaging.
There are shampoo and conditioner bars? I
Yeah.
have not seen that. That's amazing.
Yeah, they're in Lush. I want to try them, but I also, like, I just don't know if it would really work.
Why wouldn't it?
Well, no, like, I like my hair being, like, soft with conditioner. Like, how does a conditioner bar work? I just don't know. I mean, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, I mean, surely it's just like, you rub it in your hands like a bar of soap.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. Do we have Lush in the UK? We do, right?
Yeah, it is a UK company.
Oh my god, I need to find one.
I mean, that's everything that I have to go through with for sustainability. Do you have anything to add?
No, I was just going to talk about poo bags, but we've covered that. No, this has honestly been like such an interesting conversation. I'm just really enjoy talking about it, and like I love learning how I can be better and then like working towards like being better. And I think, Gina, if you and I have this conversation, one person changes something in their routine to be more sustainable, like we've done something good.
Completely agree. I also just think I feel like it is like fucking inconvenient. Like, so many people are going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, oh, I'm not going to give up my fucking bark box. But like, it is unnecessary.
It's so unnecessary.
I know it's fun,
It's so unnecessary.
and like people just aren't willing to give it up, but it is unnecessary.
But that's what's sad about everything in this world. Like, people aren't willing to like not drive to the supermarket because it's convenient. Like, if we want to reverse the climate change, we have to. Like, it's what would you rather do? Be convenient or like do something to change the world? Like, it's our responsibility. And I mean, I feel like I'm preaching and I don't do everything. Like, yeah, like last night I had a bath when I probably should have had a shower. It's so hard, but I think as long as we're conscious and like trying our absolute best, it's all you can ever do.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it doesn't take being perfect, it takes like a million people being imperfectly perfect.
Agree. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, you're so right. I completely
So there are going to be some things that are going to be harder to give up, but I'm sure Bark Box is like pretty easy to give up.
Oh well, it's nice to like see the light, you know, and like understand. It's like when now we've learned about biodegradable and composting, it's so like nice to like learn and like realize.
Yeah, Kits, I didn't fucking know about biodegradable.
I know. Did you see
I'm
the
really
post I
angry
sent
with
you?
myself. Oh, I haven't actually.
Oh, okay,
looked.
well, it's really.
Sorry.
I mean, I basically read it out, but it really. I know. I'm so glad I know, and I feel like now I can go out and like tell people. Like, I'm so excited to be like, guys, I learned something new. You know.
Yeah. Just to like change the subject, I mean, love our discussion. I feel like we do need to get a little bit lighter.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
It's the puppy bowl today.
Oh my god, speaking of the Super Bowl, they
Yeah.
decided this year is the first year they are not giving out any plastic cups.
Oh my god.
But
Fucking great.
they're using
But
cans,
what?
and I still think cans have the plastic in them, but I think like at least it's a step towards like reducing plastic.
Fucking America would do that. Like, oh, no plastic, but we're going to use something else that's not great.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure, like, bring your own fucking water bottles, like, and we'll have taps out, you know?
Yeah.
But no one's gonna be fucking bothered to bring a water bottle, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting into the habit of, like, using a reusable cup.
Yeah.
Do we have a dog of the week for this week?
No, but I've been going down the dog meme route for, like, every night this week, and I'm really into Walter Jeffrey the Frenchie.
I'm sorry, what was that? Who?
Walter Jeffrey the Frenchie. You know that French bulldog who, like, has the most insane bark of all time? You need to go stalk their account. She's really funny. She's got 2 Frenchies, and she's,
my
like,
God,
a funny
I don't
account.
know.
Yeah, and he's famous because his bark is insane, and you will have recognised him because I bet you've seen the meme before.
Oh, wow. Okay, I just found the account. Okay, is this going to be dog of the week?
Well, I mean, I don't... Unless you have someone
I mean,
else.
if this is your latest obsession, maybe we should just do latest dog Instagram obsessions.
Yeah.
Okay, that's yours. Mine, I don't think I have a recent one. I'm just still obsessed with Pigpen the Pity.
Well, that's nice.
I mean, yeah, I really love them.
Good.
Kitty, you would also love, like, I think it's The Bachelor Tuesday nights?
It's Monday, but I watch it Tuesday because I stream it in a different country.
Oh, sorry, Pigpen the Pity, like, the mum of that account does, like, live Instagram storying of The Bachelor.
Classic.
I mean, obviously you'd have to, like, look at it the next
Yeah.
day, but it's actually like very funny. I don't even watch The Bachelor, but I find her very funny.
Yeah. I mean, The Bachelor is such a great thing to watch because it's so easy to make fun of. Like, it's fucking funny, like, the ridiculousness of it. So, like, I love I'm always, like, stalking people's accounts who make fun of it because it's just so funny. I'm obsessed with watching
I feel like if you were here, I would love to, like, just, like, have Bachelor and I, like, have wine
and laugh
like,
about
make
it.
fun of The Bachelor.
I know. Well, when you move to England, we can do that and stream it and laugh about it.
Okay, if The Bachelor's still on.
Oh,
then.
trust me, Gina. We're on 24 of The Bachelor. Season 24 will...
Shut up.
We will. And that's not even The Bachelorette. There are 24 seasons of each, plus Bachelor in Paradise. I'm telling you it's going to go on.
That is insane.
Yeah, they need to have a black bachelor, though, because they still haven't had a black bachelor. And it's like... But they've had one black bachelorette. But, like... The fact that every bachelor has been a white male is slightly like, okay, guys, come on, we need to, like, get it a bit more diverse.
Ew.
Yeah. It's just still so dominated by, like, white people. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just kind of stuck in its ways. But I'm obsessed with it. I love watching it. Anyway, I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Oh my God, I've loved it too.
It's been really fun.
Thanks for educating me.
Oh my God, you're welcome.
Okay, well, thanks for listening, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit more serious, but I do feel like everyone needs a wake-up call. So make sure you're following us on Instagram. It's at That's So Fetch Podcast. We'll post the visuals for this episode. And then if you are new to listening, thanks so much for tuning in. And we would love if you could subscribe and leave us a review, just so it makes us more visible to other potential new listeners.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Guys. Bye.